Leslie Perez, and the program that I took at MITT was the postgraduate certificate in global logistics and supply chain management. One of the things that I enjoyed the most with this program was the class of skills for negotiation, where I learned what are the rules and the laws that governs the negotiation environment within Canada. I think one of the best experiences for me at MITT was the instructors. They are truly committed with your success in the Canadian workplace. They are always willing to mentor you. They are also experts on their fields. So it was like a first-class experience, the one that I had here at MITT.
Hi everyone, this is Anna Lee from MITT. I'm the coordinator of partnerships and agent relations. I'm now working from home in China temporarily. How I'm engaged at work with clients? Most of the time I'm using emails. Recently I'm using more Zoom meetings. On top of that, I'm also using Kakao Talk to communicate with partners in Korea, WeChat in China, WhatsApp in Philippines, Vietnam, and some other countries. Something I do for fun at home, I started working out using an app called Keep to help me stay active when I have to stay home during the COVID-19 pandemic. Stay tuned with us and stay safe. We look forward to seeing you on campus at MITT.
Hi everyone, my name is Mindy Cha. I'm an Immigration Services Advisor. I stay connected with our students through individual online meetings and weekly webinars. So our students can feel MITT is here to support them and we can get through these challenging times together. Stay safe and healthy everyone.
Hi everyone, it's Michaela from MITT International Recruitment Team, popping in to say hello and see how's everyone doing. Like my colleagues, I'm working from home and usually I'm never home, so it's been challenging at times. On the positive note, I have married a condo with my apartment, so it's looking really good and that's definitely a good thing. I just wanted to remind you that we are here to support you as usual, to answer your emails, to set up one-on-one meetings. We also host weekly and monthly webinars. In fact, a really good webinar is coming up on April 24th. You can explore our skill trade programs and talk to our academic staff. So please join us and please stay connected. Check out our website and social media often, ask questions, and we are here to support you. And stay safe.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Simonian, Director of International Recruitment and Partnerships at MITT. We want to connect with you today via video message and remind that we're always here to help. Every day we're finding the new creative ways to support our students, agents, and institutional partners. So if you have any recommendations or suggestions, please feel free to share. We will work hard to make things better. I'm working from my home in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and the one thing I would recommend for all of you is to spend more quality time with your family. Positive thinking will help us to go through this difficult time. Thank you and bye for now.
Winnipeg is a vibrant multicultural city located in the Canadian province of Manitoba. From its diverse population, thriving arts community, the beautiful landscapes of the prairies, and the 4 unique seasons, everyone can feel at home. International students choose the Manitoba Institute of Trades and Technology for its modern facilities, compassionate teachers, and the experience that they gain in Canadian workplaces.
It's a great place to come because it's just a great school. The relationship that the instructor and the student have lasts well beyond their graduation.
Teachers are like really friendly and really good going with you. You ask them anything, like they come by, like they help you out with everything.
I think it's the most important thing is to have connection with your teacher. If you have any problems, you know that you have somebody to rely on.
Manitoba Institute of Trades and Technology is a great place for international students to come if they're looking for a more personalized experience. The staff really care about each individual student and get to know them on a really personal basis.
The biggest change that we see in our program is a real increased confidence in our international students. What we see is a large improvement in the ability to communicate within Canadian culture, within the Canadian classroom, and within the Canadian workplace.
I am a homestay mother. We have a student from South Korea staying with us. I think it benefits them. They learn to speak the language. They have to in English.
When I came to Canada, I had just few words of English with me, and my English has been improved a lot, I would say.
My goal for the international student is helping them to graduate their program and achieve their goal that they made when they come to Canada.
An international student should come to Manitoba Institute of Trades and Technology for the relationships that they'll have with the fellow students, with the caring attitudes of the instructors.
I would say it's a great place to live, to learn, to make new friends, and to get a great education.
To find out more about the Manitoba Institute of Trades and Technology, head to mitt.ca.
Whether you're starting your post-secondary education journey for the first time or starting again towards a new career, we want to help you achieve your goals. Start here to get there.
We need to keep staff, students, and our communities safe, but we also have a responsibility to our students to equip them with the skills, knowledge, and hands-on experiences they need for their academic and career success.
Like you, we can't predict the future, but following safe guidelines, we're planning for a mix of hands-on and online learning.
These last few months have been unique for sure, but our students and staff have adapted very well. If we have to rely on online learning in the fall, we know that you can be successful.
I think it's just a different platform, right? So I think we have to all embrace change if we can and do the best we can with what we've got. And I think that's a good outlook to have, not only in the classroom, but in life, because sometimes we don't have a choice.
We help you realize your career goals through online employment workshops and industry events tailored specifically to your program.
The delivery is very similar because everything that I teach the students, I show by example.
And throughout your entire journey, Student Services is here to help you. Advising, counseling, learning supports, whatever you need to be successful.
MITT has a large number of student bursaries available every year, and we're here to help you through the Manitoba Student Aid application process so that you can afford your education.
We're here to help you prepare for your next career.
We have our work skill series, we have partnerships with industry. We have people coming in from industry to speak to students to talk about what it takes to succeed in their business.
We understand that you might be concerned about the current job climate. Career Development Services is here to help you every step of the way.
Let our friendly recruitment team help you explore over 25 high-demand careers that will give you the skills you need to succeed.
Whether you're looking for information on a program, scholarships and bursaries, or how to apply, we're here to help you. Set up a one-on-one phone consultation or even a Zoom appointment, and we'll walk you through every step of the way.
Hi everyone, this is Maria. I am a student studying business.
Hi
everyone, my name is Huan Liu. I come from China. Hi everyone, my name is Huan Liu. I come from China.
So my name is Fernanda. I'm from Brazil.
My name is Yaroslavna Alexeyeva. I came from Ukraine.
My name is Rogelio Villaver Jr., originally from the Philippines, Manila.
My name is Duy Linh Nguyễn. I'm from Vietnam, Saigon.
I graduated this January. I had a course, postgraduate certificate in management.
I did 2 programs in MITT. First one is leadership management and the second one is international business.
MITT, it's about diversity. You meet lots of people from different countries. You have a chance to communicate with other people, and it was so nice because when we worked on a different project and presentations, everybody brings something interesting from their countries.
Actually, I have the opportunities with our current president of MITT to see Mr. Barack Obama.
I remember that whenever I got in trouble, even in studying or even in my own life, I can ask everyone around in MITT, program coordinator or every staff that I meet in the whole way. And I can share with them and I got help and support.
World-class computer and networking lab.
My first impression, it's a very calm and friendly environment. Positive people, friendly people everywhere.
My biggest moment in MITT was when I was awarded with this Excellence Award for my performance in my program.
Always remember that your journey come to Canada doesn't begin the day that you landed to Winnipeg. It actually begins the day that you made your mind to come to Canada.
Your resilience is your humanity. So don't let people say that you can't rebuild yourself. Don't let people say that you cannot get over your problems. You will overcome every challenge. Even if you need to do this turn, this huge change in your life, I would say that it's gonna worth it because this is your humanity.
Hello and good to everyone. Welcome to CIC webinar. I'm Regina Aguilar and I'm one of the Senior Advisor and Managing Director of Canadian Immigration Consultancy. And our live session this morning is hosted by Skilled Worker Immigration Specialist Inc. in Cebu. Now today we're going to have 2 sessions from 10 to 11:30 a.m. about studying in Canada by Apply Board, followed by the school presentation from MITT. And then we're going to have a Q&A to answer all your questions related to admissions, requirements, and study permit application. Now, the second part of our webinar is a 30-minute breakout session where you will have a free consultation with one of our advisors. So make sure to stay out until the end of the session, right? Now, to start with, let me introduce to you our partner in connecting students to more than 1,500 designated learning institutions in Canada. And we are proud to be working with them for the past 4 years now. So let me call on the Student Recruitment Manager of Apply in the Philippines, Ms. Marie-Tony Trebol. Good morning, Tony.
Hi, Reggie. Good morning. Thank you so much for that introduction. Now, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, to where our attendees are currently stating or staying right now. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And together with us later on, I will be presenting to you or sharing to you how studying in Canada is a great option for you and what are the benefits. And together, we are joined by one school all the way from Manitoba. We have Manitoba Institute of Trades and Technology, which will be presenting after my presentation. Okay? Let me start. All right. Now, Apply Board, let me just simplifies this, the study abroad search application acceptance process by connecting you to our schools or to our partnered schools in Canada. So Apply Board has grown to become the world's largest online platform for international student recruitment. So we have assisted more than 200,000 students already. And educating the world is our passion because we believe education is a right and not a privilege. Okay, there. Now we have built over partnerships over 1,500 primary, secondary, and post-secondary education institutions. We work with 5,000 plus recruitment partners to drive diversity on campuses across Canada, United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia. Now, we were named the #2 startup company in Canada and #3 startup by LinkedIn, all while helping making education accessible for more than 200,000 students in over 125 countries. Now, in Apply Board, we have raised 375 million Canadian dollars in Series D funding at a post-money valuation of 4 billion Canadian dollars. Now, this new funding will help Apply Board meet the pent-up demand of international students looking to pursue their dreams of studying abroad. Now, why is Canada the best study destination, especially to Filipino students? Just some quick facts. Canada is the second largest country by area, and it is located at the northern part of North America. Canada has 10 provinces and 3 territories. The capital of Canada is Ottawa, and its other biggest cities and well-known cities are we have in Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, and Manitoba, where most of the Filipino immigrants are located, and all of which mentioned are amongst the top 20 best student cities to live in. Now, one of the biggest qualifications is the quality of the Canadian education system. Its degrees and diplomas are widely recognized as comparable to those in the US, Australia, and UK. Now, Canadian colleges and universities are consistently placed high on international rankings. Now, one of the reasons why Canada is a popular destination for international students is its study work policy. Now, international students can earn an income and gain Canadian work experience all while studying. Now, the option to work while studying is one of the decision-making criteria, especially for Filipino students. So, full-time post-secondary students can work up to 20 hours per week during school terms and full-time during scheduled breaks and holidays, or especially during vacations. Now in here, you can see the latest minimum hourly wage rate as of May 1, 2021. So feel free to take a screenshot and review. You can do a comparison. As you can see in Manitoba, the minimum hourly wage rate is at 11.90 Canadian dollars. Now we all know that when we study overseas, we only get a temporary status, meaning when our study duration ends, we are required to go back to our home country. So Canada, on the other hand, has designed to help international students gain Canadian work experience after finishing your studies by staying in Canada for an extra few years, which this experience can be used in your PR application in the future or your provincial application in the future. Now, this is what we call the postgraduate work permit. Now, it lets you stay again for longer in Canada to gain experience. Now, if you graduate of a 2+ year program, you can extend your stay in Canada for 3 years after graduation. And if you're a graduate of an 8 months or less than 2 years program duration, you can work or you can only get an extension of the same length as your study program. Okay? So pag 1 year lang po, then 1 year lang yung extension. 1 year and a half, 1 year and a half then. But if you study for 2 years or 3 years, you can get an extension of 3 years. Now, there are a lot of schools that provide scholarships to international students. It may be entry scholarship, IELTS scholarship, and merit-based scholarship. And if you're planning to bring your family, your spouse can work full-time or unlimited hours with his open work permit that will be given to him. And once this application is approved, and of course, your minor kids can avail the free education and government allowance. No age limit. Now, an aspiring student, majority or almost all colleges and universities in Canada do not have an age limit. They do accept a variety of age groups. Now, most of the designated learning institutions in Canada waive the submission of English proficiency, like IELTS, TOEFL, and PTE. All you have to do is submit a certificate of English as medium of instruction from the previous school where you have attended your college or undergraduate. Lastly is the immigration pathways available to international students. There are a lot of immigration pathways that is designed to help international students streamline your immigration dreams that can take advantage of and explore with. TIC are the really good RP that could definitely help you in terms of your future pathways after finishing your study duration. And I believe Miss Reggie will explain to you what are the pathways that you can take advantage of in Manitoba later on. Now, CIC is a certified partner of Apply Board, which gives you access to 1,500 plus schools across Canada. Now, you can choose based on your preferred location, program, affordability, eligibility, and immigration pathways. Now you may ask yourself, where do I start with my application? Research which city you'd like to live in. That's based on your profession, quality of life, employability, and communities. Choose the right school so you can enjoy study work rights and extend your stay in Canada. Visualize your future. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Start your application. Lastly is start your application with the Canadian Immigration Consultancy CC Cebu. With affordable tuition fees, quality education, flexible to work during study, post-study work, immigration option, and its welcoming people, it is no surprise that Canada is one of the premier destinations for international students, drawing over 300,000 new international students annually. Now, as you know from the International Student Survey, the overwhelming majority of students in Canada, they say that they are satisfied with their educational experience in Canada. All right, now that's it with my presentation. I will be here during the Q&A, and together with me this morning, we have the regional manager of Manitoba of Trades and Manitoba Institute of Trades and Technology. Let's all welcome Mr. Eric Nguyen. Hi, Eric.
Hello. Thank you everyone to join me today. I'm Eric. I represent for MITT in Southeast Asia. And I will start my presentation now. So if you have any questions, feel free to put in the chat and we will come back later for the answer. So everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Perfect. So first, I will talk about the general definition about the Manitoba province. We are a resource-rich province with freshwater, fishing, metal, forestry, agriculture. At this moment, we have 1.3 million people living in Manitoba. However, most of them, nearly 80% of people, they live in the capital city, Winnipeg, which is also our city, the city of MITT. Manitoba has a high standard of living, steady economic growth, and also high employment rate. We have pretty affordable living expense, just about 9,000 per year. So with the part-time job, 20 hours per week, most of our students, they can cover the living expense. With the students who want to immigrate into Canada after they graduate, I think Manitoba we have the advantage of the provincial nominee program, the AI, the MPNP. So with the provincial nominee program, we will have shorter and easier pathway compared with the extra entry program. Talk about the Manitoba economy overview and also the opportunity for students. We have the agriculture, forestry, fishing, we have mining, oil and gas, the service, and the hospitality, construction, manufacturing, wholesale trade with the business. So a lot of options, a lot of opportunity for you to choose. All our programs, all MITT programs, they are qualified for the permanent resident pathway. And don't worry, we will have solution for you. I will talk about it later. So why Winnipeg? First, we have very affordable living expense, right? About 9,000. Second, we have a huge community of Filipino in Winnipeg. So you will feel like this just second home besides the home country. Next, everyone wants to live in some huge and modern city, right? Winnipeg is that city. You want to go somewhere vibrant, modern, a lot of people, but you still have the provincial nominee program, easier pathway to permanent resident. Winnipeg will be the solution. Housing option. A lot of students, when they come to Winnipeg, they have two options. They want to rent the house, want to rent the room for living, or someone they just want to buy the house. So as you can see here, compared with other famous cities, we have Vancouver, Toronto, and Calgary. You can see the price of housing in Winnipeg is pretty acceptable. If you want to buy a house, you only have to spend about $300,000 compared with Vancouver, nearly $1 million. If you don't want to buy the house, you only want to rent a room while you're studying, it will cost you about $400 to $500 per month. So talk about the living expense. My student, she also came from Philippines. She spent $400 per month for the room, for the rental, $200 more for the food, and nearly $100 for the transportation. So when you come to Winnipeg, you only have to spend under $800 or $900 per month. It's really acceptable. Compared with Toronto or Vancouver, you will have to spend more than $1,000 or $1,200. Now we go to my institution, MITT. MITT was founded in 1983, and we are a public institution. Why I have to mention about the public institution? Because with public institution, we guarantee for you the PGWP from at least 1 year to maximum 3 years. We guarantee that. At this moment, we have more than 4,000 students from 50 countries, and I have two very special numbers here for you. 95. In 2019, 95% of our international students, they applied for the permanent residence successfully. So basically, if you are not lazy, you study and work hard, most of you, 95% of you, will easy to earn the permanent residence if you work hard. Next, 90% of our alumni, they said that they work exactly in that field. So what you have learned at MITT, you will work exactly in that type of job after graduation. So how we can have very, very amazing number like this? Because we focus on the student career and student future. We have the career development service where we support you with the finding job. We prepare you with working skill, soft skill, and also we bring the company, we bring the employer come to the campus, we bring the job to you. Basically, MITT students, they don't have to find a job. We bring the opportunity to our students right when they study. Student life. As many other institutions, we have a lot of volunteer programs, student club. We have a lot of activity to connect students all around the world. Talk about the student service. Besides the academic advisor, student advisor, and also career development, we have immigration service. So this immigration counselor will support you with the study permit, expense study permit, with the PGWP, and then also if you have questions about the immigration, about the PR pathway, feel free to book appointment with our immigration counselor. And all our service you can see here, they are totally for free. Talk about scholarship. We don't have the entrance scholarship. However, we have a midterm scholarship, which means you study with us, finish the first semester, and based on your performance, based on your first term's GPA, we will give you scholarship. Now we go to the list of the program we offer for international students. We have, with post-secondary level, for students who just only graduate from high school, we have 4 big majors here. Human service with culinary, early childhood, or hospitality. With the health and medical, we have pharmacy, healthcare, or medical office assistant. With skin trade, basically it's related to the technician. For example, car technician, auto mechanics, or industrial welding. With business and IT, students will have the option between the business, for example, the business administrative, client service, or with IT, we have the network system, network security, or software developer. You can see we have a lot of options for you to choose. And I have to mention again, all these programs, they qualify for 2 things. They qualify for the PGWP, the work permit, and they qualify for the permanent resident. With the students who already graduate from college, from university, with, for example, the major student, we have 5 options for the postgraduate program. We have business management, international business, applied leadership, human resource, and global supply chain. So as we all know about the PGWP policies about the work permit, if you study 1-year program, you can only stay for 1 year. If you study 2-year program, you can have the opportunity to stay for maximum 3 years. However, if you choose to study 2 programs, each program has the length of 1 year. For example, you study the first year with the business management, and the second year you study with international business here. Total 2 programs, you have 2 years study. You still can earn the maximum 3 years of PGWP. Now we talk about the requirement. So with post-secondary requirement, we will ask for the high school transcript and high school diploma. Besides that, unfortunately, we do not waive the English requirement. So you must have the proof of English proficiency, for example, the IELTS or Duolingo. With the postgraduate program, we require you the undergraduate diploma or degree with the transcript also. Besides that, we ask for the proof of English proficiency and sometimes also the work experience. So here's our admission process. You choose the program, you prepare the document, and you apply online. After we receive your document, please allow us up to 8 to 12 weeks to process all your paper. And if you qualify, we will send you an offer. With the offer, you will pay the deposit of $5,000. No worry about the deposit. It will be included in your tuition. And after you have paid the deposit, we will send you letter acceptance. With letter acceptance, you can apply for the student visa. Remember, when you travel to Canada, please bring your original document for us for the final double check. So that's all information I want to share with you about MITT. If you have any questions, we will come back with you later. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for that informative presentation, Eric. I'm sure you have a lot of questions that you would like to ask to our school representative. But before that, I would like to show you a brief summary on how you can transition your status from temporary, that is the study permit visa or open work permit, to becoming a permanent resident in Canada. Let me share my screen for a while. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, Ms. Reggie.
All right. By the way, I'm not an immigration consultant, so our discussion here is for general information purposes only. And all the information I'm going to share is available at canada.ca website, so please check on it. All right, this is the summary of the study pathway and how you can transition your status from a temporary permit to permanent residency. All right, the first there is to get an admission to a designated college or university like MITT that are recognized by the government of Canada. And then the next thing to do is to secure your temporary residence visa or study permit. If you're bringing your spouse with you and dependents, there's also a study permit for the children and the open work permit for your accompanying spouse, right? Now, when in Canada as a full-time student, although you can work at the same time, you have to respect the condition of your permit. And once you finish your program, as Eric mentioned, you can apply for a postgrad work permit and qualify for the provincial nominee program like Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program or MPNP, and then submit your PR application to obtain permanent resident status. Now, as international student graduate in Manitoba, you can check 2 streams, right? Please refer to MPNP website for eligibility criteria, but I'm going to share to you 2 streams that you can look at and how you can transition your status and apply for PR. The first one is the International Education Stream or IES, and the second is the Skilled Workers in Manitoba stream. And for international education, you need to have at least 1 year, or you're a graduate from a DLI in Manitoba, that's 1-year program, and then you need to provide also a language proficiency score, CLB 7 or IELTS, or that is not below 6 or the category in IELTS, right? And then if you're a graduate in Manitoba, you need to have at least 1 year job offer in NOC 0 AB occupation. So if you're a graduate there, you can already apply under this program, and you also need to meet eligibility requirements of that province. So when you submit an application, you have to start your work already, before the nomination. Now, for the skilled workers, as long as you're a graduate there and you have at least 6 months of full-time employment with a long-term full-time long-term offer under your postgrad work permit, then you can already apply for this stream, right? And mababa din yung CLB requirement for IELTS, CLB 4 only, and this is good for mga entry-level work in Canada like NOCC or D, so lower skill jobs. And of course, you have to meet the eligibility requirements of the province, all right? So if you want to know more about the study pathway to PR application, please make sure to talk to us. We provide services from temporary visa to permanent resident visa application, okay? And we are Canadian Immigration Consultancy for more than 30 years. We've been working with the registered Canadian attorney and immigration representatives in Canada. And you can find us in almost all the major cities in the Philippines. So also we have a lot of partners in Canada, DLI partners in Canada. Now, Suisi branch is a subsidiary of CIC in Cebu. So if you're in Cebu or anywhere in the Philippines, actually, you can contact us and start your application with us. We are located at the Keppel Building, Cebu Business Park. So please connect with us via Facebook, all right, or email suisi@gotocanada.com. All right, that ends my presentation. We are going to proceed now with our Q&A. So please type your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute your microphone if that works best for you. Okay, I'd like to call again Miss Tony.
Yes, Miss Reggie,
to help facilitate our Q&A.
Will do. Now, we are down to our last portion before the breakout rooms where you will be able to talk to the CIC Swiss team after the session. Now, let's move on first to the live question that we have from Gianna Lanete. So later on, if you wish to unmute yourself and speak up, please raise your hand and please let us know so we could call you out. All right. Now, I believe this is for Swissy. Do you think mas easier po magkaka-PR ngayon dahil sa pandemic if I take the one-year program and one-year work? Based on Swissy's experience or and specialty, maybe you could answer this question, Ms. Reggie?
Okay, I think depends on the eligibility of the applicant. So we still have to check your profile. So if it's if you can send or connect with us, so we know your the details of your work experience, your education, so we can advise which pathway that you can take if it's best for you to take the one-year program. I believe there's a program available for you also in MITT, right, Eric? There's a one-year postgraduate or diploma program?
Yes. So with our program, all the program qualify for the PGWP. So if you study 1 year only, yes, you can only earn 1 year PGWP. However, as I mentioned before, you have two other options. First, yes, you can study our 2-year program, or you can study 2 programs. Each program has the length of 1 year. So in total, you still have 2 years of study. So depend on the decision, depend on the plan.
All right, thank you so much, Eric. Next question is, what if I'm just a high school graduate? Paano po, ma'am, kung high school graduate lang, makakapunta po ako ng Canada? Norman, are you a grade 12 high school graduate, or are you from the grade 10 old curriculum graduate here in the Philippines? Maybe you could respond it below sa chat box para we could, you know, explain it further for you, which both areas you will be eligible. So we'll wait for your answer and then we'll get back to you. Okay. Next question is from Robert Abrogar. How much is the tuition fee for auto mechanic? Is this a 1-year certificate program, Eric?
Yes. Let me double check again about the tuition for this program very quickly. Wait a minute.
Norman, please respond to chat box para we could check if are you grade 10 graduate, old curriculum, or the new curriculum here in the Philippines, the grade 12 graduate. Okay, because definitely for grade 12 graduate, you will be eligible. Yes, Eric, going back.
Yes. So back to the automotive service about automotive, 16,400 for the total tuition fee for this program, and yes, it's 1-year program study.
Okay, 16,400. Am I right?
Yes, exactly.
That's a 1-year certificate program, Robert. Okay. Now, how about study program for an experienced chemical engineer? Do you have programs related to that, Eric?
Actually, we don't have the program related to the chemical programs. However, we have a lot of other options related to the skin trade. So skin trade is a little bit big area and major to choose. For example, we also have the thing related to design a little bit. For example, the car technician, or we have some industrial mechanic or electronic technician.
Okay.
So actually, if the student want to study something related to biology or chemistry, I think we can offer him the student the pharmacy technician also related to the chemical a little bit.
Okay, so Eden, the best thing is maybe you could send your CV to Miss Reggie and her team so that they can really look into and look for a suitable program for you. And then we can definitely check MITT website to compare which is the best program for you at that area. Okay. Next is from Gianna Marie Lanete. Are we going to pay for the full tuition fee, Miss Reggie?
I think we have to ask the school representative because per school have different policy for the tuition. Yes.
Deposit, yes. Eric, maybe you could discuss tuition deposit.
Yes. So about the payment. First, yes, of course, you have to pay the application fee, right? So the second payment will be the deposit. The deposit is 5,000 for all the programs, any kind of program, 5,000. But with this 5,000, it will be deducted to your tuition. About the payment term of MITT, basically the student will have to pay the first year tuition before you start, the payment term will be by year, not by semester. So, for example, with the auto mechanic, for example, the tuition is 16,000, right? So after the student has paid the deposit of 5,000, he will have to pay the rest of 11,000 before he starts the program. So that is with the 1 year program. With the 2 year program, you only have to pay by year. So before you start the first year, you pay the first year tuition. Before you start the second year, you pay the second year tuition.
All right, thank you so much for that, Eric. But when we receive the offer letter from the school, all the deadlines of payments will be indicated. Am I right?
Yes.
All right. But the initial tuition deposit to secure their slot is at 5,000 Canadian dollars. And
yes,
is
exactly.
there a deadline after receiving the offer letter?
Yes, so students will have to pay the deposit within 1 month after they got the offer from MITT. And after they have paid the deposit, within 5 business days, we will send them letter acceptance, the LOA.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, next question is from AV Galan. Do you have an opening there, or are you already start to assessing applications for May intake, especially for supply chain management?
Yes, actually, at this moment, we already open for registration with the May intake. However, with the global supply chain program, we only have 2 intakes every year, the September and the January. So at this moment, the nearest intake I can offer you is the January 2022. If you feel it's too rush for you, I think you can wait until we open for the September 2022 with the global supply chain. However, for the May intake, we have some other options for you. Business management, human resource, or the international business. They all postgraduate programs like the supply chain.
And it's offered for May intake. Am I right, Eric? Those programs that you mentioned are offered in May intake.
Yes, right. For the May intake 2022.
All right, here from Laarni Kilanita. Hi, Miss Laarni. Miss Reggie, she is asking how much is the total proof of funds needed if she is planning to bring her dependents. Miss Laarni, may we know how many are your kids? Or you only have 1 kid? You can unmute yourself, sorry.
Yes. I have 3 boys with me, ma'am, sir.
3 boys, all right. Thank you. Miss Reggie?
Yes, it's best practice, Laarni, to provide proof of funds to cover the whole duration of your studies. So you need to identify your primary and secondary source of funds, and then you need to prove that you have sufficient fund to cover your tuition fee that range around 12,000 to 16,000.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Yes, you need to prove that you have sufficient funds to cover your tuition fees. That covers that's around 12,000 Canadian dollar to 16,000 per year, depends on the program that you're currently applying. And for the living expenses of at least 12,000 for the student and 4,000 per dependent. So that's for the 1 year cost of living. So depends on the program and school plus your cost of living. Yung po yung i-combine nyo to cover the total funds requirement for a 1 year or a 2 year program.
No need to worry po, Ms. Laarni. During the breakout room, you will be able to talk to
36,000, depending on how many kids you have. Hello, ma'am.
That's 4,000 Canadian dollar per dependent, ma'am.
Per kid po, 4,000.
Okay, all right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Laarni. All right. Now, Norman has responded. So I believe Norman is a graduate of the old curriculum, grade 12, and is a TESTA graduate with consumer electronics. Hopefully, Eric, do you accept like grade 10 graduates here in the Philippines? The old curriculum.
So I think we have advantage with the old curriculum system because we accept both the old and new curriculum of Filipino students. We have a lot of major students who just only graduate from K10 in Philippines. So no worry about that.
Okay, so what program they need to take first? Is it a bridging or a foundation?
No, they can go directly to the career program. So I think that's the good news.
That's really, really good news. So he is a graduate of consumer electronics. So definitely you have programs related to electronics, right?
Yes, we have a lot of options for electronics. For example, electric application or electronic technician.
Okay, thank you so much, Norman. I believe you. I hope you were able to answer your question. And if you wish to submit an application to those programs, which Eric has just mentioned, please please write it down and indicate it during the breakout room with the SWC team. Okay. Next question is, how much is the processing fee of the SWC? Ms. Reggie, would you like to enclose it, or would it be best during the it will be discussed during the breakout room?
Yeah, as for CICP, it's best to have your consultation first with us to know the total amount required, because it matters if you are applying as a single applicant or with your family. But let me tell you that you can start your application for as low as $600. Yes.
All right. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Reggie. That's very competitive price, really low price for a processing fee, especially from a Canadian immigration consultancy with their expertise in sending students to Canada and especially helping students with other areas of visas. Okay. Next is from Francesca. Hello, sir and ma'am. What if I can't secure IELTS? Can I take English or ESL and MITT, or is Duolingo acceptable? Eric?
Yes. So we have a lot of options for students to choose. First, with the English certificate, we accept IELTS, TOEFL, or Duolingo. Duolingo, we still accept it until May 2022 intake. Second, we also have the English program on campus, so your student can study one term of English program with us, and then they go directly to the career program without anything.
Okay. So for Duolingo, how much is the minimum requirement, Eric?
So the minimum requirement for the Duolingo will be 95, for IELTS will be 6.0. So depend on the program.
Now from Robert Abrugar, if my focus is to work with transport company like trucking, is there a more affordable study program, or is there what programs that is near related to trucking or automotive?
Yes, actually it depends on your position, right? You work in the transport company, but you work in back office area. So you can choose to study our business program. If you work as a mechanic or you work at some other place, yes, as Tony mentioned, you can study our skin trade program, for example, auto mechanics. So it depends on your background. You can contact CIC and also Tony to have the best advice for you. And not only with MITT, you can choose among a lot of that partner.
All right, thank you so much for that. What about you? We all know that the healthcare industry is the top program or industry here in the Philippines, where there are a lot of nurses or any other programs that is related to healthcare. They're looking into studying in Canada. So what for you, what is the top healthcare related program for Filipino students in MITT?
So for the healthcare program, as I have mentioned, we have the school and the college, that is the health and medical. So 4 options here: pharmacy technician, healthcare and personal care worker, personal support worker, the medical office assistant, or rehabilitation assistant. So 4 major, depend on you. The good thing is, with our program, first, we don't have age limit. And second, with the post-secondary program, we do not require you the work experience. So we only ask for your high school graduation, that's all.
Okay, thank you. How much is the tuition fee for the graphic and print technician? Do you have this program?
Yeah.
And is it a 2-year program in MITP? Is it offered in a diploma program, which is the duration is 2 years, so they could be eligible for the 3 years PGWP.
Yeah, so related to job major about the graphic and print technician, we have the CAD technician. It's pretty similar, it's the same. However, there's a 1 year certificate with a tuition fee of 16,400. So it's only 1 year for you, so you can only earn 1 year PGWP. However, I can suggest you this option, this solution. First, you still study the CAD technician, which is related to graphic and print technician. And then after you finish this program, you apply and study the business management postgraduate program. Everyone can study business, right? So business management 1 year program, in total, you have studied 2 years and you can apply for the PGWP maximum 3 years.
Okay. I hope Ms. Ancheska, Eric was able to elaborate and explain it to you what are possible programs for the graphic and print technician and what are the opportunities, okay? Now, next question is from Norman Tabilin, Ms. Reggie. I believe that your team can answer this. Magkano naman po ang magagastos sa pag-aaral doon sa Canada? Katunayan, ando na po ngayon sa Alberta, Canada yung pinsan ko, and residents po sila doon. Mr. Reggie, maybe you could provide an elaborate.
The fees, as I've mentioned before, depends on the program that you will take, a program of choice. For CAC, it's best if you can contact us. Please stay before, don't go yet, no, before there's a breakout session that we're going to have, and we will discuss the detailed fees to start your application.
Okay, thank you. So please stay after the Q&A because you will be assigned to a CEC counselor, which you could talk about these things, the initial cash out, how much will be the show money, and then if you want to know more about the process, they will be able to discuss this during your breakout room together with the CEC counselor. Okay. All right, next question, going back to Ms. Laarni, is how long will be the total process from the date of application all throughout? Reggie?
Laarni, current processing time for study permit is around 8 to 12 weeks from the time you lodge your application. So yung submission of requirements depends on how fast you can complete all the requirements. No? But in average, meron tayo within 1 month, tapos na nila. So I suggest you check the Canada.ca website as it changes from time to time with regards to the processing time of study permit application.
All right, next question is there an available short-term course such as 6 months? Unfortunately, pag 6 months lang po, Ms. Laarni, hindi po siya eligible for an extension of visa afterwards or the PGWP later on. So PGWP, it has to be 8 months or less than 2 years. Pag the same duration or 2+ years to 3 years to get 3 years PGWP. Pag 6 months, you will not be eligible for a PGWP extension, and then limited lang yung schools who is offering 6 months program. Mostly it's around 8 months to 3 years. Okay, Ms. Reggie, do you like to give?
Sorry, what's the question again, Tony?
Is there an available short-term course such as 6 months?
We usually not recommend a 6-month program. Kasi po 8 months yung requirement for a study permit application. Less than, that's not a study permit application. That's for tourist or PRV. Yes.
All right. Follow-up question from Ms. Laarni is, what if the medical examination got rejected? Can they still repeat it?
Yes, usually you're required to resubmit or take another medical. There's a request from the visa officer, but usually the inadmissibility restriction for applicants are those with a certain disability and medical conditions. And usually nagbe-base yan on 3 grounds like it's danger to public health or public safety, or it requires excessive demand in terms of health or social services ng Canada.
Okay, I hope you were able to answer your questions, Ms. Laarni. Next question is from AV Galan. What are the chances of employment if you're a graduate from MITT compared to other colleges and universities? Eric, well, the employability rate of your graduates in MITT.
Yes. So back a little bit about our information. First, in Manitoba, as I have mentioned, we have high employment rate. We don't have, you don't have to worry about the career. The reason is, first, we have the career development, which will have you support you with the career. We will introduce you to the local partner, local company. Basically, in MITT students, they don't have to go out and find a job. We bring the job to them. Next, compare with other institutions and other cities. For example, I normally compare Winnipeg with Toronto, Vancouver, and Calgary. However, in Toronto and Vancouver, for example, or even in the Ontario or British Columbia province, we have a lot of institutions. You can ask Tony and CIC about that, a lot of options. So you have to compete with a lot of other students, right? All around the world. However, in Manitoba and especially in Winnipeg, we only have very, very few options. We'll have 2 universities and 2 colleges in the area. So you don't have to compete with too many other students. Besides that, we also have a lot of support from the institution to compete with other institutions. We have the network, we have the partners, so we will support you not only with your career, but also with the future. More than that, our service is forever. I really mean it. For example, with the COVID, with the pandemic, a lot of people, they lost their job. However, with MITT students, even you have graduated from 5 to 10 years ago, you still come back to our team, come back to our career development service and ask for the support. We will support you until you find a suitable job. And once again, it's service for free with all MITT service.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric. Question here: what would be the current setup of delivery of programs in the upcoming intake, especially for September or January? Would it still be online delivery or face-to-face already in MITT?
Yeah, so actually, at this moment for September, it will be blended. What is the blended? Which means some programs you will go on campus, some programs you still stay online. With some programs, it needs practice a lot. For example, the spin trade, right? Or the health program. Yes, you will come back to the campus. With some program, you can study online. For example, the business program, you will study online. However, the situation now in Canada is pretty good. Most of the people, they got vaccinated. So in January, 100% we will come back to normal. Talk about the vaccinated. Now we have the plan for international students to get vaccine for free. So if you haven't had the vaccine in your home country, you still can go to Canada. And when you are the MITT student, we will give you the vaccine for free. So it's our support for the students. Now, the second question about the school time. Depend on your program. We have the daytime or the evening. For the day class, the daytime, we start from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For the evening, it will start from around 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Depend on your program. So why we have the evening class? The reason is with the, for example, the postgraduate program for students who already graduate and the mature students. You will study with domestic students who keep their work, who stay working in the daytime from 9 to 3. So they only have the evening time to study the postgraduate program. So you're an international student, you have 20 hours per week to do part-time job. You can work part-time job by the daytime and by the evening you go to MITT and study your program. If there's a full-time program, no worries. You still can earn the PGWC.
Okay, thank you for that, Eric. Very, very comprehensive. I hope, Laarni, yes, thank you so much for the approved sign. Now, here, okay. that we have here. So what is like the COVID response and quarantine protocol for students right now, especially with the new regulation?
Yeah. So MITT, as other institution in Canada, we have to follow the instruction of the government. So if you got fully vaccinated, 2 doses of the vaccine from Philippines, now you don't have to do the quarantine when you come to Canada. However, if you haven't had the vaccine, you still need to do the quarantine plan for 14 days when you arrive. So how we can support the student? First, we have the list of the hotel expect the student to do the quarantine plan with the promotion rate. So you will have some discount for that. We will support you with all the information you need, even support letter when you travel. More than that, as I have mentioned before, if you haven't had the vaccine in the country, yes, come to MITT. We will give you. So it's our support for international students during the pandemic.
All right. Now, in terms of like, what if the students gets a visa refusal? What is your visa policy? Do you have like how much would be the refund, or if they defer, if they plan to defer, would the whole amount be deferred to the next intake?
So talk about the refund, for example. The deposit, the 5,000 is non-refundable. If you change your mind, you apply, you get a seat, but you don't want to study with us anymore, you want to move somewhere else. So it's non-refundable. However, if you got visa denied, you cannot get study permit, we will refund for you 100% of the deposit, 5,000, totally refund for you. Every student, they will have one time defer, one time only, and free. So when you choose to defer, all your payment will move to the nearest intake of your program. So that is our policy.
Okay. Now, what are the acceptable vaccines in MITT?
Yeah. So we only accept Pfizer, the Moderna, and AstraZeneca. So that is the 3 popular at this moment. The Sinovac from the China and also the Sputnik from Russia. At this moment, they haven't accepted from our government. I don't know in the future, but at this moment, only vaccines from Europe and from the North American accepted.
What if their vaccines are Sinovac? What do they need to do?
So with the students who already got the Sinovac, we have to treat them like the student who haven't had the vaccine. So that's the point. They still have to do the 14 days quarantine. They still have to do the test as normal.
Okay. Thank you. Now, looking at here, how much is the price range for accommodation near the school?
Yes. So in Winnipeg, we have the northern of the city and the southern of the city. The northern city will be cheaper because most of the people stay in the southern, and most of the downtown is the southern. So the difference between the price for a room, for example, you will share the house with your friend, with your classmate, right? So for a room, if you live in the north of the city, it will cost you about 350 or 400 per month for a room. If you move to the south, which near the campus, it will cost you about 500 to 600 per month. The distance between the north of the city to the south where we have the campus will be around 20 minutes of drive. So depend on the decision. Most of my students, they choose to stay in the north of the city, easy to go to the campus, just about 5 minutes of drive. They can walk to the campus. Or if you want to save some money, you can live in the north, spend 20 to 25 minutes of drive from your place to campus.
Okay. So do you have programs that is embedded with co-op?
We don't have the co-op opportunity. However, we have the practicum, we have the internship. Most of my programs, they have that kind of practicum. So at least 4 weeks, up to 12 weeks per year for practicum. Our main focus is the student know exactly what they will do in the future.
All right. Now that's it. I believe we don't have any more questions. Any more questions from our live, Miss Reggie?
I think there's none, no? Is there any other questions from anyone? If none, I believe we can wrap it up and we can proceed now to our breakout session.
Yes. So, Eric, we would just like to thank you for your time and for your presence this morning. Thank you so much. We will be inviting you for more webinars together with Suisi in the future. We'll definitely invite you. MITT is a really good school on option, especially in Manitoba area. Would you like to say something, Eric, before we go?
Yes. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Spend time with me. Thank you so much, CIC, and also Applybot to host this session. It's very helpful. And if you have any questions, the student, if you have any questions, feel free to contact CIC and also Applybot to get more information, not only about MIT, but all their other partners.
Okay, for your additional questions, it will be entertained during the breakout room. So just please wait and stay. You will be talking to CIC Suisi counselors during the breakout rooms. Okay, now for me, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you so much for your questions, for being so participative this morning. I know if you're in Cebu, it's a holiday. If you're outside Cebu, thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you soon. And we hope to see your applications in the future. And have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Reggie. Thank you, Eric.
Tony. Thank you, Eric.
Everyone. Yeah.
And Tony, see you again on our August 13th webinar.
Yes.
Or with SAFE. All right. Now, for all our attendees, please stay online for a breakout session. And those that are watching live on Facebook, I'd like to encourage you to book a meeting with us at cacsuisi.com or just send a message in our Facebook page. That's CIC Suisi Cebu, and we will connect with you for a one-on-one consultation. So that ends our discussion this morning. We're going to proceed with our breakout session, and we will assign you to a room. Just click join and don't leave the meeting room. Thank you so much.